I don't think it's gonna be here. I know it's not gonna be here. So, the Luigi's Mansion arcade game was originally released in 2015 in Japan and 2 years later in the US. The game was heavily based off of Next Level Games, and Nintendo's then recent release, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, was developed and published by Capcom, and then the machine itself was released and manufactured by Sega. So a whole lot of groups with their names on this thing. I swear I've seen this machine before. During the one time I found myself on vacation at a GameWorks in Seattle, Washington, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing one, maybe even trying it out for a hot second. I'm sure I didn't spend any substantial time with it. I do, for sure, remember them having a Tyco Drum Master machine. That game is fun as hell, but beside the point. I also remember seeing Luigi's Mansion in a local arcade after I graduated college and moved back to Phoenix. Years later, I decided to make a video series where I played and reviewed every Luigi's Mansion video game. That's out now, check out the link in the description. But I also wanted to round up my thoughts by also building the Lego sets. That's out now, check the link in the description. And also playing through this arcade spin-off, which led to one very important problem. Where can I find this machine? First thing I did, which is my first step for most problems in life, was to look it up on the internet. This led me to a crowdsourced arcade database that I will not mention by name for soon-to-be obvious reasons. According to the site, there are a couple here in Phoenix. One was where I remember seeing it. The other way out in Glendale, almost an hour away. There might be a couple in Tucson. I guess I could drive to Vegas or Albuquerque or LA, but that's kinda a bit much. Heck, it's still listed at the Seattle location I remember seeing it at, if I really wanted to spend the money on a flight. At first, I waited and looked at the places closest to me. I found myself at a slightly further away mall, noticed there was a really small arcade in there. Luigi's Mansion wasn't. I wasn't expecting it to be, but I thought to be thorough nonetheless. Next, I checked the closer one. I remember seeing it, but some number of months ago they reorganized all the machines and I hadn't seen it since. A brisk walkthrough confirmed my suspicion. Unfortunately, this site I found was wrong. This arcade no longer contained the Luigi game. But there was still the Glendale location. Naturally, I didn't want to drive all the way out there only to find the website wrong once again, so I put my executive function pants on and pulled up the Dave & Buster's phone number for that location. Dave & Buster's is a large corporation. Large corporations no longer let you call them. After walking through their automated assistant, thinking I'd finally be redirected to the store, the phone rang for a bit, then concluded. You can't call stores anymore. That's frustrating. While on their site, I did notice one thing at least. On Wednesdays, all games are half off, and I just so happen to have some vacation time coming up. So the first Wednesday of my vacation, I hopped in my car, and, well, I'll let past me take it away from here. Alright, I guess I'm gonna vlog this. I'm standing out here in the middle of, I believe I'm in Mesa, looking at a tall building I've only ever seen in the distance, and I'm going to drive to the other side of Phoenix to try and look for a Luigi's Mansion arcade game. So, let's go on a journey, I guess. So the Dave & Buster's is 36 minutes away. The Dave & Buster's opens in 30 minutes. So I'll be there right at the start of it opening to even see if it's even there. Because the website that I found this information from was wrong about the arcade.
Take the next right onto South Westwood, then continue straight to stay on South Westwood.
So we'll see. We will certainly see, won't we? All right, I made it to the Dave & Buster's, all the way across town from where I usually go. Why is my car beeping? That doesn't matter. I guess I'm gonna go inside and see if I can actually play this Luigi's Mansion arcade game or not. Well, we'll find out in just a second. To get here, I don't know if I could see it from here. This is next to the football stadium. I haven't been out here since I had to get my COVID, my very first and second doses of the COVID vax, so I'm pretty far out. Let's see what happens. Oh, I walked 3 steps and I found the stadium. It's right there. There's Mario Kart, which is a decent sign, I guess. It's certainly a very big arcade. Meaning I'll have to go around more to look for it. With all the sounds in here, I don't know if any of this is going to be usable audio-wise. Well, it wasn't there. There's a Carl's Jr. over there. That's gross. So yeah. Did I drive all the way out to the other side of town? 36-minute drive for nothing? Yes. Yes, I did. But I'm gonna post a video, this video about it. This would have been greatly helpful if a week ago, when I tried to call this restaurant, places let you call them anymore. I called corporate, and then I tried to call the store, and no one picked up. And so, what are you gonna do with that? In my case, drive back home, and hopefully this video doesn't pick up the song, that's the Sweet Caroline song that's playing in the background. Well, thanks for your time, David Busters. I've now got to drive back home. Goodbye. Alright, well, I changed my mind. As you can see here, I'm out over by the Barnes & Nobles. But just behind the Barnes & Nobles is yet another Dave & Buster's. And I don't think it's gonna be here. I know it's not gonna be here. But I'm gonna check if it's here. Okay, arcade. Oh my god. Huh. Huh. Well, there it is. I was truly, honestly, not expecting this. I guess this is a review video then. Cool. How do I get a card? Let's see it here. We've got our poltergeists. 5,000s. It's a railgun shooter. I knew that going in. Polterpod. Alright. Awesome. It's here. At the Tempe Marketplace. I hope my shock at actually finding one came through. I truly, honestly wasn't expecting to find one. And for it to be the first machine I saw while walking in, I'm really glad I decided to make a detour and try the second closest arcade to me. Of course, as I remarked at the time, I do wish I had gone to this location first. I find myself at the Tempe Marketplace all the time. It would have saved me so much time, but hey, at least it was there. You know, in hindsight, I wish I had gone to this one first, because this is the one that's significantly closer to me. So, the Luigi's Mansion arcade game. It's a mashup of a railgun shooter and regular Luigi's Mansion gameplay. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, railgun shooters are a fairly common arcade experience. These games feature gun replicas known as light guns for the player to point at the screen and shoot enemies with. The camera of the game will generally walk through a location, then pause at a certain set piece, where enemies will then spill out for the player to deal with. A couple of the more popular classics would be Time Crisis or House of the Dead. Luigi's Mansion is exactly that, where instead of shooting things, the player has a model replica of their very own poltergust, and points at the screen to flash ghosts with a strobe bulb to stun, then suck them up with a vacuum. The game itself seemingly consists of only reused and up-resed assets from Dark Moon itself. The game has 3 levels: Gloomy Manor, the Old Clockworks, and the Treacherous Mansion, and the game features Luigi, or really just the camera, walking through these locales, pausing at certain set pieces, and then catching ghosts with a poltergust before walking to a different locale. Within each are all the familiar spooks from Dark Moon, including some of their Scare-Scraper exclusive variants.
Whoa! Oh, they got some of the variants, like in, oh, darn it. Like in the mode I can't do.
Most animations seem to be pulled straight from the 3DS game. The animation in the garage is a clear example of this. The exact same scene plays out in both, only the arcade version is of a higher resolution.
This is just straight up cutscenes from the game, huh? It's really funny how these are just up-res cutscenes from the game.
Presumably, and also for sure after looking up gameplay online, the game also reuses all the audio from Dark Moon. I can't know for sure, for whatever reason the machine I played had all the sounds turned off. So other than the arcade ambience, the sole soundtrack for my sucking simulation were the mechanisms in the poltergust prop itself. The poltergust was a pretty neat tool. As I expected, I could point it at the screen, and a reticle would show roughly where I thought it was pointing. One button on top activates the strobe bulb, the trigger activates the vacuum. After sucking for a while, the meter to ultra suck is activated by pressing the top button once more. And they really went all out with their vibrations. If I could even call them that, it was more rattling than anything. Large clunks are heard whenever successfully sucking up any ghost or money in Luigi's path.
Such an interesting chuck when they get sucked up. A good chuckunk.
The game itself was, well, fine. Suck every piece of furniture to get coins. The camera pauses, and then you flash the ghosts as they attack. This goes on throughout each level until you fight a boss, and... oh wait, I died.
I guess I died.
And I died again.
Oh, I want to continue.
And well, darn it, I died again.
Jesus Christ, this is tough.
Okay, I died a lot, and I had to purchase my way into finishing this game, but hey, that's just how the game is designed. One early thing I noticed was how hard it was to aim towards the right half of the screen.
No, I'm trying to aim over there! Oops. No! Oh. This has a real hard time getting to the right. It can't go over that far. It's almost designed to need 2 players, which is a little frustrating. Or it's just old. It could very well just be old.
I don't know if that's because this is an old machine, or it's incentivizing co-op play. Either way, it didn't help. There's also just a lot of guys at certain points.
Oh, I flashed you in time. Screw you.
And very few ways to gain hearts back.
No, oh, I got a heart? Yay! That was a heart in there. You know what I could use? Is a heart. I'm not gonna get one.
The thing that really put me off the most was this one attack in the final boss. King Boo spawns a whole bunch of bombs on both sides of the screen. There was literally no way for me to get all of them before they struck and killed Luigi.
This game super isn't designed for one person. Yeah, that's impossible.
I think you have to have 2 players to get both sides of the screen to get them all, which is a win-win for the arcade. Either you get twice as much players from these poor schmucks, or you have one schmuck putting in token after token because the game is bound to kill them as much as possible. It's me, I'm the schmuck. In the end, sucking up ghosts is still a really satisfying mechanic, but the game is balanced to make that frustrating for one person. There's simply too much going on at certain points, so if you want to beat it, go in with plenty of tokens.
I spent $20 whole on this. Yay! Yay! Luigi. Let's go! Luigi time! Stage clear! Let's go! Oh yeah!
Running through each of the mansions was fun too. There's a reason railgun shooters took off in the first place, and while it's not my favorite genre, I had a good time. Mostly, I'm really happy I found the machine. I get to put a cap on my Luigi's Mansion adventure once and for all, until a new game comes out at least. The $20 I spent for my 35 minutes with this ghost fighting simulator was well worth it for me, a person who made a whole series about Luigi's Mansion. I am not going to rank this arcade game with the other 3 mainline Luigi's Mansion games because it would come in last, and that kind of feels just a little bit rude. What I will do is give this a ranking. Overall, I give Luigi's Mansion arcade game a prop poltergust replica that you use as a light gun in the Luigi's Mansion arcade game out of 10. It's a little worn down from years of use, but the idea of it is pretty darn cool.
It's a close look up. These are what the poltergusts look like. They have a trigger on the underside, and the strobe bulb on top. And the sensor itself on the top honestly wasn't great. Hopefully that came through on the footage. It's a nice little thing in here though. Captured Toad, captured Greedy, showed Polterpup over here again. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to do this.
On my way out of the arcade, I even stopped to play the Mario Kart game. I played as Donchan from Taiko. Y'all ever play Taiko Drum Master? Now that's a game. Anyone know where to find a Taiko machine in the Phoenix area? Thank you so much for watching. Once again, you can check out the rest of Luigi's Mansion Mania in the playlist linked in the description. While you're here, let me know if you've ever played the Luigi's Mansion arcade game. Maybe leave a rating on the video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of what I put out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.